Hey everyone, I hope you're doing okay. I am here today to give you a pro tip on how to survive the JavaScript ecosystem on the long run. But before I talk about this, I need to address a very important situation that is going on my YouTube comments. Some people were saying, "Hey Daniel, I saw that you're using Microsoft Edge. And as a developer, you cannot do that. You need to use Chrome, you need to use Brave, or whatever other browser." And I have an answer to that. There's a reason why I use Microsoft Edge, and that is because of the Microsoft Rewards program. I get a bunch of points for doing Bing searches and for clicking on those random cards that pop up every day. And with the points that I get from the searches, I can grab an Xbox gift card. There you go. I can even buy the Diablo 4 Battle Pass, and I love playing video games, so that's the reason why I use Edge to play video games, right? Okay, back to the topic. What is the pro tip on how to survive JavaScript land? That is, wait 1 year before using any new framework, any new library, and you can use this tip for existing frameworks as well. For example, you want to upgrade your Next.js version from 14 to 15 to 16. If you want to adopt a new major version, I recommend you wait at least 6 months, okay? Unless the framework is super stable like Rails, I feel like it's safe to upgrade as soon as possible. But for more unstable frameworks like Next.js, I recommend waiting at least 6 months to 1 year. And this is very hard to do in practice because many JavaScript influencers are recording videos every day talking about the new cool stuff. And for example, Wasp has been popping up on my timeline a lot. And if you take a look at the homepage, this framework looks awesome, to be honest. Like, it looks very different from what we have today, but it looks very fun to use. I'll probably test Wasp in the coming days. Maybe I'll record a video. It looks promising. It looks fun. So you might be tempted to like, hey, this framework looks very productive. Maybe I should ship a SaaS using it. And let me tell you, no, don't do that. Not right now. Take a look at the header, okay? It says Wasp Beta. I'm not saying that the current version is trash. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just that this is a beta version. This is not the final version. This is not the 1.0 version. This is a beta software. So be aware of that, okay? Do not use it for critical applications yet. Wait a little bit. And that goes for any framework. For example, there's Dino. When Dino launched, I saw a bunch of people talking about Dino. Bun launched the version 1.0 a couple of months ago, if I remember correctly. I don't know. And then a bunch of people started using Bun. And then my Twitter feed got corrupted by a bunch of people saying how Bun broke their production pipeline and the server no longer works. So this is the pro tip that I have. Wait 1 year, okay? For example, if you want to try out Deno now, fine. They already have more than 1 year of existence. So like in terms of being stable software, it looks a lot more stable. I think this is good to use. Bun, not so much, because it was released, if I remember correctly, in less than 1 year ago. Wasp, for sure, just launched. You shouldn't be using it on critical applications or applications that you have paid users. Don't use it. Wait 1 year. And then another question that I like to ask myself is, after 1 year has passed, is the framework still relevant? For example, Deno looks cool. If you take a look at this, the homepage, it looks slick. But that's the thing. Every JavaScript page has a beautiful looking homepage because they want you to convince you to use the framework. And Dino, just like all the other frameworks, looks slick. It looks fantastic. Like they want to uncomplicate JavaScript. And that's all I want as well. So we are aligned on the same goal, but I'm not going to use Dino. And that's mainly because like it seems ready to be used in production, but I don't see anyone talking about it. So it doesn't seem like there is a lot of adoption. And I don't like using frameworks that are not used by a lot of people because, yeah, as far as I know, I think Dino is also a company and they're selling like Dino Cloud. And it's dangerous for you to have a company that is not making money. The same goes for Wasp. It's a company. They need to make money, which is different, for example, from Adonis, because Adonis is not a company, as far as I know. It's a bunch of open source developers. They don't need to make money from it. Like, it's not mandatory for the framework to exist. Of course, you should make donations to the contributors because that's how they're keeping up with the work, but it's not mandatory. Like, if Adonis doesn't make money, it's not gonna die suddenly, which happens a lot on JavaScript. So that's pretty much it. The two questions that I make inside my head whenever I see a new framework. First of all, wait 1 year. After 1 year has passed, is this framework still relevant? If the answer is no, then you're probably fine skipping that framework, okay? But if the framework is still alive and you can clearly see that there is a vibrant community around it, then that's a good sign that maybe you should give it a try. And of course, you can test new frameworks whenever you want. The point here is just don't use it for critical applications, for applications that have real paying customers. Don't do it. It's too risky. There's a very high chance of you encountering a bug and then breaking your application. And the same tip goes for using existing frameworks. Next.js is very famous for being unstable. There was the Vercel ship a couple of days ago where they announced Next.js version 15. There you go. Of course, this is not the final release. It's a RC, release candidate. So they're saying that it's not ready to be used in production. But even after they release the official Next.js 15, I highly recommend waiting, because it's very common for them to realize that they were wrong, revert some changes. That's what they did, for example, for caching defaults. Previously, they cached everything by default, and now it's the contrary. They want you to be explicit of when you want to do caching, and by default, it doesn't have caching. So if you're using the bleeding edge version of Next.js, there's a high chance of you getting like too many changes at once. And let's be honest, if you are using, for example, Next.js 14, and you're having a wonderful experience with Next.js 14, what is the reason to upgrade to Next.js 15? I mean, of course, you want to stay up to date, but that's the only reason, right? You want to stay up to date, which is a valid reason, but Next is unstable, so I recommend waiting at least 6 months or 1 year, because it's common for them to realize that they made a mistake and then revert the mistake and then add more breaking changes. So wait, okay? It's hard to resist the urge, because these days everything is so filled with anxiety-inducing content and FOMO-inducing content that you must resist, okay? You want to try out Next.js version 15 RC just for fun? Do it, but don't do it for a production application, okay? That's it. That's my main tip. I'm not saying that Wasp or Next.js or Dino are horrible frameworks, not at all. I'm just giving my personal framework that I use on my mind before adopting anything new. Wasp looks promising. Dino looks awesome. Bun looks awesome. I really love their mission to uncomplicate JavaScript, to make a Rails-like framework. Like, really deep in my soul, I am praying to God that these frameworks, they survive and they thrive with an amazing community. But we need to be realistic. We have existing applications, we have paying customers, and for those critical applications, don't use beta software, untested software, or new software, okay? Use battle-tested software. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much. See you next time.